And welcome to Chat with Gunner, episode 101. Here we are. We are live. We are in the Dumpster Fire Studios in the greater Chattanooga area, right across the border in North Georgia. And I'm looking around and I'm looking at 6 GoPro cameras. I'm looking at 3 new microphone arms. I'm looking at a whole new setup. I'm looking at a wrap desk. I'm looking at a bunch of new Dumpster Fire posters up and canvas art and wraps and all kinds of cool things.
It's beautiful.
It looks like that we just
actually hold on. I'm sorry. I can show you.
Yeah, show everybody.
I totally forgot.
Exactly.
Maybe
what we're
if the camera's on. Let's see. Camera's not on.
not
It's just
on.
me.
That's okay.
Hello. How are you?
That's okay. But so pretty much, we're entering a new era of the Chat with Gunner podcast, along with Dumpster Fire Studios in general. So be on the lookout for these guys. Got a bunch of things coming up in the pipeline for them. They were actually at 12 Point Logistics yesterday talking to us about some marketing and some ideas that we could throw in to get as much publicity out there, get our name out there, and try to make as much of a dent as possible. And this is what these guys are good at, so we're trying to partner up with 12 Point as long as we can make the dollar bills make sense. If it was up to me, we would do it, but it's essentially not completely up to me. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, man, it was a fun weekend.
Yeah.
I went up to Nashville. It snowed Friday, and Marcus ended up staying with us over the weekend. It wasn't our weekend, but little man decided that it was going to be our weekend. So he stayed with us. Tia had a conference that she was at Friday and Saturday, a driver conference for her company at First Fleet. And so me and Marcus just had a little bro day on Saturday. We went to the Nashville Cards and Collectibles show at the fairgrounds, which was really, really cool. They had about 2,000 people show up, a little over 300 tables out, a bunch of cool cards. You know, you go to these things and you think that you're not going to really see anything too crazy. I'll say that this one guy that I ran across had a shadow box of cards, and in this shadow box, the cheapest card was $6,000, and he probably had 20-plus cards in there. One of the cards was a Jordan card. One card was a Brady card. I think the most expensive one was $18,000. Now, Marcus has a fantastic eye for I guess, expensive things. So he was looking at this one Jordan card, and he goes, "Hey, I want that one." And I said, "Cool, let me ask the guy how much that card cost." Well, that Jordan card cost $12,000, and it wasn't even one of his rookie cards. So I told Marcus, "Hey, man, I don't know if we can get that one. It's kind of expensive." And he's like, "Well, how expensive is it?" And I was like, "Well, considering like anything for you over about $20 at this card show is expensive, a bunch expensive." So I asked him, "Hey, what do you want to get?" And he said, "I want to get some Pikachus. I want to get some WWE cards. I want to get a Jordan. I want to get a LeBron." So I just made sure that we got each one of those. He picked out a graded Pikachu card that the guy had listed for $49, and we got it for $40 because, you know, Marcus is a kid and people want to get kids into the hobby. So everybody was very supportive about that. Marcus shook his hand, looked him in the eye, said thank you, carried that bad boy around like a prized possession. And then you look it up online, like on eBay, and it probably, you know, it's a card. It probably goes anywhere between, you know, $60 and $70. The one cool thing about getting cards at a card show is that there's zero tax. It is cash only. And when you sell something on eBay, people are going to raise their prices due to the fees that they put in there. There's like a 10 or 15% fee just to sell on eBay, and also tax. So you can probably buy something for about, depending on the price, say if it's $100, you're probably going to get it for about $70 in person. So keep that in mind. You know, $1,000 card on eBay is going to run, you know, $700 at a card show. So that is really where you can kind of, make your money back on those. I took my Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card to get it graded at the show, just to talk to some people that knew what was going on. This is a card that I thought, man, it was a $3,000 card. I was always hyped up about it. It was a card that I got when I was a baby, literally when I was born. My uncle gave it to me, a 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey rookie card. It's always been in this case, so I figured, it's got to be in perfect condition because it's always been in this case. Took it to a guy who only collected Ken Griffey cards, and he told me straight up, he goes, yeah, this thing's never been touched and it's in great condition, but the centering is off. That's a thing in card games. And also he thought one of the corners was soft. So with that being said, he considered it being a PSA 7, which would have listed that card at about, $30 to $60 in this market, and in an up market probably around $100 to $150. Now that's a lot less than the $3,000 that I thought I had in that card, which is cool, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep that card. I was going to get rid of it and try to build towards like a Brady rookie or a Jordan rookie or a Steph Curry rookie or a LeBron rookie, something along those lines for him because that's what Marcus wants. But we're going to keep that one, and we're just going to keep figuring our way out into possibly a Jordan rookie card because I really want one of those. I don't see how some of these cards cost so much money. I do not get it.
They're overly expensive.
They're overly expensive, and I understand that it's art, right? Like that's a modern art for us. But still, it's hard to wrap my head around that a baseball card that you pull out of a box, depending on how it was cut, right? Because I guess when they print these things, they're probably on a sheet, and they cut them, and then it has to just be cut perfectly, centered perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy, but that was cool. So we did that, and then we came back on Sunday for an early day, and then the week just got busy. We started baseball on Tuesday. He had his first baseball practice.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, I mean, we talked about all this last year, about how much
Last year was the first year, right?
Last year was the first year.
Okay.
So this time last year when we started, it was his first year, and we didn't know if he was going to be left or right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we made it past that. We know that he's left-handed. He literally could not touch the ball at the beginning of last year. His first, 3 scrimmages, struck out every time, didn't even come close to the ball. And then I started working with him every day, doing tee drills, soft toss, and then actually throwing the ball to him. And then he had a really good season, made the all-star team, batting leadoff for us, and just a very little guy, just the littlest one on the field. Well, this year, I didn't realize how much bigger he has gotten. I didn't realize he caught up to everybody. So now as a 6-year-old, he's one of the bigger kids on our team. He's probably he's for sure the fastest kid on our team. Fielding the ball, naturally, I don't know where this even came from. He looked good. Throwing the ball looks halfway decent. And hitting, he's hitting the ball really good. So, I mean, I'm looking for him to have a pretty good season this year and to watch him play and have fun. And he's really getting into it from a perspective of, he's trying to beat other kids and out-compete with them. I don't know where he gets that from. Definitely not me. But I love that aspect of it because he's starting to understand that you can be better at somebody if you work harder, or if you just pay attention a little bit more, you can be better at somebody. And that's where you can start to see competitive athletes are born. If you can see a kid starting to do that at 6 years old, noticing that if you do something with a little bit more focus than this other kid, you'll be better than them at it. That's a good skill to teach at a young age. But other than that, there was some news that broke on Sunday on my way home. And I was super excited about it because Brady has unretired.
Yeah.
Newsflash, never retired. All these people are talking about how Brady retired. Can somebody find me a statement from Tom Brady that says, I retired? If anybody can find that for me, I'd love to see it because he never said those words. All he said is that he was going to be spending a lot of time with his family and his wife. That's all he said. Well, he gave his family and his wife 2 months, and now he's back to football. I mean, listen, those people live an extraordinary life that a lot of people will never even get to imagine what the type of money they have. You got Tom Brady, who's been a top 5 quarterback for 20 years. getting paid top 5 money, and he doesn't even make as much money as Giselle. Think about that. So there's a lot of irons in that fire when it comes to the whole money bags. But other than that, man, didn't really do much. What do you got going on?
Here's a question before I get started.
Sure.
Tom Brady coming back, does that affect your card price at all?
Okay, so
I'm sure there's somebody going to be asking that question.
Yeah, no, they're going to ask that question. I do not have any Tom Brady cards.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So
for some reason I thought you did.
No, I'm wanting some. As soon as he retired, right? His cards blew up. His rookie card went sky high. His early Prism cards went sky high. His low pop cards went sky high. Hell, even just his base cards are like $50. So it's hard to get a Brady card. But honestly, he's so good. He could have the worst season in history this year, and it's not going to affect anything that Tom Brady's ever done.
Yeah.
So if you buy Tom Brady cards, they're only going to go up in money 20 years from now. I mean, it's like buying a Apple stock or Amazon stock. Like, it's not going anywhere.
So are you looking?
I am looking. I'm looking for Brady.
Because you should be.
Here's what happens with me, man. And I can tell you my own faults. I'm willing to admit my own faults.
Yeah.
I'm an addict about whatever I do. And a lot of guys know this. I'll say addict. I'm obsessive with things that I do. So
you're obsessive and you're compulsive in your buying.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, because I see things, man, and I just know that it will work. Like so Marcus and I, we posted 14 things on eBay and we've sold 12. Like, I mean, I just know when things are going to work. Like, I've been getting paid from eBay for the past 3 weeks. I've had 3 checks from eBay for the past 3 weeks.
Damn, bro.
It's not a lot of money, but like, say if I put all my energy towards that, I put like 30 minutes towards that at nighttime. If I put all my energy towards buying and reselling and flipping and whatever on eBay, you probably make some pretty decent money, like a lot of people do.
You should start keeping a counter. How much you spend?
I've got a spreadsheet.
Okay.
I got a spreadsheet.
I'm very curious.
So now I know. Now, as far as the cards go, we haven't sold any cards. We haven't gotten rid of any cards.
Oh, okay.
All the stuff that we've sold is like his toys, his action figures that he didn't want to play with anymore. So, and I'm talking old school WWF wrestlers that look like they have been beat with everything. The wrestlers are beat within an inch of their own action figure life, and
it looks like a grudge match.
They're mine from the early 2000s.
Oh,
and you put them on. And back then wrestlers cost $5, right?
Yeah.
So you can put them on eBay for $10 and make them pay for shipping, which is $9, and people buy them within a month.
Yeah.
It's as long as you take cool pictures and make it look weird or make it look kind of stand out. But loose action figures is a big market on eBay.
100%.
But anyways, back to my addictions and my obsessiveness. So when I go into cards, I went all in, man, and it was like I would stay up and I say this like it happened months ago, a couple weeks ago. So I would stay up until like 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I was in these bidding wars on eBay trying to win these graded cards. And I never spent should I just say how much the most should I say the most expensive?
No.
I'm not going to say the most expensive card. I'm not going to
just give us an over a price.
A what?
A general vague over this much.
I don't think that I spent over $500 on a card.
On a single card.
On a single card.
So you spent $4.99 on a single card.
I honestly don't know. And I have a spreadsheet at the office with it, and it's very easy just to go to the eBay app and pull up what you've done, and I'll kind of just pull it up and have it going as I'm talking. But I definitely have spent a couple $100 on several cards, right? But these cards are not going to go. It's not like they're going to go down in value.
They're not bad investments.
Well, say you get rid of them, you're just going to trade your money back.
Well, what's the card? Because this is what I was thinking of when you were talking about Tom Brady. What's the prized card that you sent me?
The prized card that I have.
Yeah.
like total in my little collection.
Yeah, it's the one you sent me. It's like one of
Oh,
five.
oh. So you're talking about my Tim Tebow card.
Tim Tebow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the tip of my tongue. Couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah. So
yeah, that card is not the most you spent on a card. Or is that it?
no, it's not. Okay. Well, here's the thing with Tebow though. Tebow is not a. He's not still playing, so nobody really cares about Tebow anymore. Like,
That's fair.
but his card's never going to go down. Like,
Yeah.
if anything, he's going to go into the College Football Hall of Fame, like I said, and his card's going to go up. Okay, so here's this one Hulk Hogan card. All right,
God.
so it's a Hulk Hogan 1991 card. So here's some reasons why I got it. I was born in 1991.
Cool.
It's a Hogan card.
Cool.
It's a PSA 5, which is 5 out of 10 or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's graded still. But it's a autographed card from Hogan, and it's a PSA Auto 10. So it is confirmed. It is for sure autographed on the card by Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's what an auto 10 means. Okay.
Auto 10, yeah. And that card was $320.
But it's also autographed. That's the important part to justify a price like that.
Yes. So if you keep going down here, I mean, most of these cars, dude, like $1, $2, $3, stuff like that. Somehow or another, I locked down this Aaron Rodgers card.
Nice. I love Aaron Rodgers.
It's PSA 10 gem mint condition. And it's this thing. It's like the Hero Edition, so it kind of looks like a comic book.
Nice.
I got it for $61. I just really like that card. It's pretty
Send me
cool.
a screenshot of that because I'll
wait a
put it
minute.
in the video.
I do have a. It just hasn't gotten here yet. That's hilarious. Where is this card at? Shipped like the 20th.
Oh God.
Package return notice. I guess I need to figure that out.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what you're doing tonight. Figuring out
Package.
where your damn package is.
Yeah, package return. I had a Brady card. It was a pop one. It was 13 out of 35. I need to figure out how to get this damn card. Anyways, so the Tebow National Treasure 1 of 5 PSA 10 pop 1 card was $185.
Okay.
So that LeBron James
LeBron James.
PSA 9 numbered 10 of 10
Okay.
population 1 means there's only one of these.
Nice.
323.
We're talking big numbers here for me at least.
Yeah, $300 is not
Not
cheap
cheap.
for anybody. But okay, and here's the LeBron James rookie. I forgot.
Oh.
LeBron James rookie card.
Oh, of course.
PSA 8. It's a Bowman Rookies and Stars 2003 LeBron James legit rookie card, $425. And
Okay.
I got that lucky because I was the only person to literally bid on it the last second. I don't know how nobody didn't see it. That card right now I could sell online about $800.
As long as you're buying stuff that you can at least assume, at the very least, is going to go up in price.
Yeah, dude, and here's what I've realized. I've bought so many different cards just to get it. And that's like those are cool cards. Like I bought so many just stupid cards just because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
cards, and flip cards, like a golden retriever. And then I decided, all right, let me get away from that. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy graded cards at a cheaper price that really have no value to anyone outside of why I'm gonna buy them. I bought every University of Tennessee Chattanooga athlete that got drafted.
Nice.
Football and basketball.
Awesome.
And the latest one I could find, or the earliest one I could find, is 1950. There was a guy from 1950 from Chattanooga that got drafted.
That's pretty cool.
And his nickname was Choo Choo. Pretty awesome.
What position?
Right wing back.
Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah,
Just
dude.
those random players
Oh,
that
yeah.
nobody knows. But
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
that's
I did that. I pretty much got everybody there. I tried to get the rookie card if I could. The only rookie card I couldn't get was TO because it was just like $1,500, and I don't care about TO that much. But I did get a TO card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a shadow. And several of the cards I got back were guys I played with. So,
Awesome.
Buster Screen, Davis Toll. I was going to get one of Corey Levin, but they didn't make one for him because I guess he's offensive tackle, and they just didn't do that. I don't know why. But the two guys I did play with, Davis and Buster, who have legit rookie cards signed, Panini, National Treasures, I got them both.
Nice.
And literally got them both for less than $10. So that's pretty cool.
Hey.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a small shadow box, and I'm putting all of the Chattanooga players in a shadow box, and I'm gonna hang it in my office.
Here's an idea. If
Okay.
you're just doing the Chattanooga players,
Doing the Chattanooga. Well, I'm doing two. I'm doing 3 shadow boxes, but
Yeah,
one
yeah.
is
just Chattanooga players, you should set them all up in their positions. Have like a field on there.
You know,
that'd be pretty cool.
They make one. It's a shadow box. It's funny you say that. They make one, and it's like a football field.
Yeah.
And then you can put 11 cards on there.
Yeah.
So I was gonna do that, but I got more than 11 players.
Fair enough.
And then there's another one. I thought, there's only one way to teach Marcus about his heritage, and the best way to do that is through sports cards, because he likes to see them, and he likes to figure out like why these people might be good or whatever, and he wants to know stuff about Samoans. So
awesome.
And Tia doesn't teach him much about Samoans, and you got my white ass over here trying to teach him about Samoans. So I'm over here trying to learn about it. So there's this website, and it's the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
So not just the NFL Hall of Fame, but like the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame. So you go on there, and anybody with Polynesian culture tied to them, Tongan, Hawaiian, Samoan, whatever. So then you have to go through it and decipher which ones actually came from Samoan heritage. So I went through and found every player that was significant that came through with Samoan heritage in the NFL and tried to grab as many cards as I possibly could. Now, within that, you got players such as Junior Seau. I got a couple of his rookie cards, not $50, $80, $100, whatever. And you got like Troy Polamalu. There's some really good players that have Samoan heritage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put together a shadow box of all of the Samoan players, also, and play homage to that. And then I'm gonna get another shadow box of just my really good cards. My Brady's, my Jordans, my Bronze, like all the really good cards, and lock it and put it in my office as well. Just so you can hang them and see them, and if I ever want to get rid of them, I can. If not, whatever.
It's so funny because, one, that's awesome
Yeah.
because, again, not that Marcus is in the same position I was, but, like, I am just now really getting to, like, crack that egg for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm Vietnamese, but, like, my mom wasn't. She was the white one of the two.
Right.
And so I didn't really have any connection other than just knowing, oh, I'm Vietnamese.
Sure.
So one, that's awesome. That just being able to have that, even though his mom's not really giving it to him, you're able to. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean.
But I just because I was curious, and you were going on a roll, I was just like, are there any Vietnamese athletes?
Dude,
most
Tiger
of them
Woods.
Yes, most of them I looked up are like badminton, golf, poker, which fair enough, and then like MMA and boxing.
So what's funny, when I was doing all this, I was looking to get you one, and this sounds terrible. Like I couldn't remember. Like I just looked up Asian. Like I was like,
you
Asian
bastard.
Yeah, super.
Shit, I gotta bleep
yeah.
myself.
Yeah, Asian cards, and it was like I was trying to find you a cool Bruce Lee one.
That would be awesome.
I know.
I would appreciate it.
But like they didn't have any of like him, like Bruce Lee in. It was like
It was just Bruce Lee standing there.
the Green Hornet.
Well,
And-
Green Hornet's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, but it just wasn't what the.
It's not what you wanted.
I couldn't find one that I wanted, and
Yeah.
then a lot of them were like $1,000 as Bruce Lee, I
Jesus.
guess, and because they're back from the 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Makes sense.
yeah, that was cool. And then I don't know, man. It's just I go balls into something, and and then here we are.
You certainly have, Gunner.
But
you certainly have.
now, after I've got that out of my system, I've slowed down. And I've realized, okay, I've got the stuff that I want to do for hobbying and having fun with. Now, if you're looking at sport card investing, here's my suggestion. Stick to Hall of Famers and stick to the GOATs.
Yep.
Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. That's it. I mean, I really, 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 really want a Mickey Mantle card. Because that's only ever going to go up. Oh, I did get a Babe Ruth card.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
It's like a
last week.
1960 Babe Ruth. So it's
Nice.
still did. Oh, and I did another. I'm an idiot. So I did another thing too. I was like, I want to put together my name in baseball cards. So I tried to find the oldest Gunner, the oldest Lee, and the oldest Miller card I could find. And those are my 3 oldest cards now. One of them is from 1908
For
baseball.
okay.
One of them is from 1911
Okay.
and 1922.
Jesus.
Those are my 3 oldest cards. But think about that. I can say I have 3 cards graded in the case
over 100 years old.
over 100 years old pieces of art.
Jesus.
And what I'm going to do is, like, one of the guys' name was like Gunner something. He's a boxer.
Okay.
And the other guy, and then the Lee guy was a baseball player, and the Miller guy was a baseball player.
It would have been cool if it all shook out and one of them was like
A wrestler.
a baseball player, one of them was a wrestler, one of them was football.
Yeah, I know.
Been
It's been really cool. So I did that, and I'm going to do you can get these pieces of wood that have cases on them.
Yes.
You can get like a 3 case. I'm going to do 3 in a row, hang it up, and it's going to be Gunner, Lee, Miller. Those cards back to back to back
That's pretty cool.
of my 3 oldest cards. And each one of those were
Pricey.
not $300-$400, but cheaper. But
Okay.
it's still expensive.
Still, yeah, for a 100-year-old piece of paper.
Yeah,
and
and
cardboard.
and it's like they're called like T206, which was a brand back then.
Yeah.
So like, for example, if you was to get a Honus Wagner T206, it's like $1 million card. It's like one of the most expensive cards of all time, cut in half.
Yeah.
Like if you find it cut in half, it's one of the most expensive cards.
Somebody
of all time.
probably has a half, and
They do.
they've just been looking for
They
it.
just sold it. It was like $487,000.
Well, no. I'm saying like a collector has been sitting on a half of a
Probably
card,
so.
and he's just been like, okay, just somebody find me the other half.
Probably so. Probably so. So that's where I'm at when it comes to the card game. I have slowed down, but I am now being more
Methodical.
Yes, I got a strategy now.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Marcus goes, he loves he just likes opening them. So whatever.
Here's the thing. That's the addictive part about card games
Yes.
in general. Is literally just it's like mystery boxes.
Yes.
Which is the fucking craze for kids now.
Well,
is
the
those,
eggs,
those
mystery eggs, and the round world eggs. And
Yep.
Trust me, I know.
I mean, that it started becoming a thing right as I was growing out of it. But
Yeah.
good Lord, you can make so much money on that. And it's literally just how trading cards have always been.
Sure. And that's cool. I know with the trading card, like they have this app. It's called Market Movers.
Yeah.
And it's literally trading card stock market type app for card. Like it keeps you up to date daily. So
Okay, breaking news. Evidently, Bob Menery just posted a picture of Alex Jones in his studio.
really,
So we got Trump and Alex Jones within, what, a month?
so that's with full send.
I'm guessing, yeah. I mean, it's Bob Menery posting a picture with him, so... it would have
Which
to
one
be
is
right.
he on the show?
Bob Menery's... I know him from his funny sports commentary, right?
Okay.
He's the Buffalo Wild Wings guy. That's his voice, so...
But is he the one that is kind of wild and sits off to the side,
I
always
think
talking
so.
about like doing Adderall and staying up
I-
late and getting geeked and stuff like that?
I'm going to tell you this. I haven't watched the Trump interview yet, so...
Let's talk. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
this
segue.
is a perfect segue
Seg-
because I can't watch it right now. I can't. I when I went to look for it, I couldn't find it for a minute.
Sure.
I haven't tried since.
I mean,
to be
I
fair,
know
but-
where you can see it.
Okay.
but, all right. So last week, I believe it was Thursday
Yeah.
when I got home, or maybe Friday or
You-
whatever.
You texted it to me like within couple hours.
Yeah. So I mean, like, out of nowhere, like I've always said, you know how awesome it would be to get Trump on a podcast, like a long form podcast where he can just sit there and talk for like an hour. That'd be sweet,
It would be awesome.
dude. The Full Send guys, like, first of all, their podcast is fantastic. They do a good job. But the Full Send guys go to Mar-a-Lago and have a podcast with Trump. Like, they show up and Secret Service is confused. Like they're outside talking and they're like, they have some B-roll footage. Look at me talking like I know what I'm doing.
Oh wow.
They got some I said the word sizzle in our meeting yesterday, and Chris was like, "What?" So we got some B-roll footage of them talking to Trump's Secret Service. He's like,
Yep.
"Yeah, we're here to see Trump." And they're like, "Yeah, get out of here, guys." He's like, "No, seriously, Trump's going to be over here in a second." And then, like, I guess the PR guy came over there and was like, "No, they're seriously here for Trump." Anyway, so they do an interview with Trump. It's super candid, super relaxed. Trump's, it's not like he's trying to run for office in this interview. He's just
not ready for office. I swear, guys.
he's just
This is not political office. This is Mar-a-Lago. We're fine.
yeah.
But maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, he goes. They asked him about running for office. He goes, "I can't tell you if I am or if I'm not because that's
Yes.
illegal currently.
Yes.
But I'll just tell you, I think you'll be very happy." So whatever that means. But they have this interview and it's awesome. And I mean, they called him Don Trump, Mr. President, the Don.
They were
Donald.
very comfortable with him.
Yeah, but what I didn't know is they've met him like 3 times through Dana White.
Yeah.
Dana White set the podcast up with those guys because he was just on it a few months ago. He's good friends with them, and it was a good conversation, man. And the reason why the podcast was taken down, even though Trump told them during the show the podcast would be taken down, and they didn't believe him, he goes, "Just listen, it's going to get taken down because fake news doesn't want me up here talking about anything." They took the podcast down due to misinformation about election fraud. That's why the podcast was taken down.
Did they talk about the election at all?
Trump briefly mentioned, like, just in a rant about, he'd go on a rant and he'd go fake news, stolen election, stuff like that. He compared it to like Venezuela as us being a third world country.
Venezuela is very, very socialist. Their elections aren't real. Now, I'm not saying America has not real elections, but if you really, really think about it, what are the leftists trying to put into this country? They're putting socialism into this country, folks. This country is turning socialist. And what more would you want from a socialist country than not real, but I can't say the word, elections? I'm not saying this election was bad. I'm just saying maybe every election since Obama has been bad.
Well, pretty much, and you're spot on with that impression.
I love it. It's a curse.
So he goes through all of that, and it's just a fun conversation. And then towards the end, man, they're just like cutting up and talking about all kinds of just random things. In less than 24 hours, they took the podcast down.
Yep.
Now, the podcast had, I believe, over 5 million views.
100%. And
had doubled their best 24-hour output, or even tripled it at that point. It was going to be their most successful podcast.
Makes sense.
And they pulled it down due to misinformation about election fraud. It stayed up on Spotify. Okay. And as of yesterday, it was the number 2 podcast on Spotify behind Rogan. So them boys jumped up. Them boys jumped up real high just because of having O'Donnell on.
And that's the thing. You can look at me and tell me that not that many people like Donald Trump anymore. You can say that. But then you have a single podcast where he just goes on and talks to 2 guys that usually talk about what? Sports and random BS. They just cut up like we do. Yeah. Literally last week was probably their podcast every week. Just without a lot of the racy stuff.
Yeah.
But that, and then you have just Donald Trump come in for a single podcast, and it breaks every record except Joe Rogan's. Like, that should tell you something about a lot of things.
Yes.
And obviously those numbers can be international. It's not just America. I totally get that. But that's a hell of a lot of people to just go and listen to one guy on a single podcast that not that many people were listening to prior. And now they've all seen it.
Let me just tell you something real quick. And I'm one of the quickest guys to say that I think polls are the stupidest thing in the world.
100%.
Right? Now, I'm talking about polls as in, like, the news reporting polls on politics.
Yes.
Because those polls are not just you go online and click a button. Those polls are people are calling you, selling you on which choice to go within the poll. Or they're communicating to you through a text, hoping that the words they put in the text will persuade you to poll a certain way, right? Like, hey, we're with the Democratic Party, and we really need your help on this poll to let you know how well so-and-so's doing or whatever. So I've been doing polls on LinkedIn. First of all, my LinkedIn presence is better than any social media I've ever had. There's that. So I do these polls on LinkedIn, trying to just, get away from the everyday work life. I try to keep it fresh.
See, I think that's on LinkedIn. That's probably going to be the best thing you can do.
Yeah, because everybody's so. I am the least serious person on LinkedIn as far as like most everybody. Everybody's so you gotta be professional. Like, dude, I'm where I'm at. Nobody's like, unless I just do something stupid, I'm gonna keep my job. Like, So, and I don't do anything crazy. I just talk about things that are not necessarily work related. So I posted this the other day. Best president since 2000, right? And in the poll, I've had 164 votes. There's 1 day left in the poll. I've had 2,240 people view the poll. Several people share it. But if you dive into the numbers, Ethan.
Yeah.
I put Biden, Trump, Obama, and Bush. Unless there's another president. I don't know. So Bush has received 15 votes.
Out of 164?
Out of 164,
Gotcha.
and that is 9%.
Okay. You got the percentages.
Obama has received 32 votes.
It's not bad.
And that is 20%.
Okay.
Biden has received 1 vote. And this, I'm not even making this up. 1 vote. Okay? 1%. That's not even 1%, by the way.
Yeah, it's not.
And Trump has received 116 votes. There was zero bias in that. All I put was best president of the 2000s. And put those 4 in there with a 7-day poll. So I didn't persuade anybody. I don't go on LinkedIn, and I'm not MAGA. I'm not a Trumper. I'm not a Biden hater. I'm not Obama. I'm not Bush. I'm not nothing. I don't talk politics.
Now, to be fair, 164 people is not a big enough of a sample size for a poll. But
sure.
At the same time, it's just like...
I'll say this. I will say this. I've seen polls get posted online with not too many more hundreds of votes that they go with actual, and they take that legit.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, due to a recent CNBC poll.
They don't always disclose that top of the headline. They'll always just say, "Oh, this poll shows," and then when you actually get into the nitty gritty details, and it's just like, so how many people did you poll? Oh yeah, just like 50 in middle of New York.
50 Democrats.
Yeah, 50 people in the middle of New York. We just stopped on the street.
Yeah. So
that's not gonna tell you a lot.
So that's all I did was put that out there. It's got 1 day left. So tomorrow my post is going to be in detail, like breaking this down. And this is not me like taking a shot at anybody, but how did over 80 million people vote for the most popular president of all time just less than a year ago? All right, 80 million people.
And out of 164 people, you can't at least find 5.
And out of my 5,000 LinkedIn followers,
damn, okay,
not more than one person.
Well, how many people saw it?
2,245.
So out of 2,000 people, only one person thought, I want to do this. I want to just go ahead and hit this. Because obviously you're scrolling through, like, I mean, it's LinkedIn, so it's a social media profile.
Yep.
You're just scrolling through, like, your wall or whatever, and you're like, oh, there's a poll. Not a lot of people are going to hit, right?
Yep.
164 people hit, obviously. And only one of them voted for Biden. Like, it's one of those things where the possibility is totally there. But the math, the probability for it is astronomically high.
And I shared the post yesterday just to get some more votes on it.
Yeah.
I shared it and I go, well, it looks like, I said, I hope, all right, what I say, I said, I wonder if Biden will win this poll in the final hours. But I mean, like, it's stuff like that, man. I'm not saying the election was rigged. I'm not trying to get kicked off for misinformation. I'm just saying 80+ million people don't like him.
Yeah.
I'm sure a bunch of millions of people do. But 80+ do not. I promise you. I promise you they do not.
Out of 300 million people in the United States.
Take away all the kids.
Take away all the kids. That's, I think the number ends up around
200,
give or take, obviously, because 300 million isn't actually the population. It's like 330 million.
Right.
So you take away the kids, it ends up right around 200.
Take away 50 million that didn't vote.
50 million didn't vote, obviously. You have 150. Half of that voted for Biden. Half of that voted for, just about half of that voted for Biden, half of that voted for Trump. And I actually saw some really, really cool maps today because I follow this Twitter account. It's literally just like world cool maps or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of what they've been posting has been like the topography maps of like Africa, Australia, United States.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do in the United States, it's not just the United States. It'll be like Arkansas, Montana, Utah, and it's the 3D render, so you see how big things are.
Yeah.
That's why I followed them.
Okay.
But they posted one today that I thought was very spicy. It is just the map of the United States, and it said population, and like comparing places. So the same number of people live on the coastlines on either side of the United States as, like, if this is the entire United States, let me get in my camera shot. This is the entire United States, left to right, and the coastlines are here. This much of the center of the United States has the same amount of people. And then it got smaller because they just did the major cities. And then the last one, it looks weird because you don't notice it at first, but it does just LA and just New York. And it's like, it's still a decently sized chunk of people in the center of the United States, but New York is like that big and LA is that big and you can barely see it on the map. It's fascinating to me. Now, sure, that's a lot of freaking people, but there's something wrong with that. I don't understand why people are okay with living that close to that many people.
I want to say
personally,
that New York City, just the city, New York City,
on the island,
yes, is the 5th most populated state.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's top 10, somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure.
It's ridiculous. If you take, they also did counties, which was really cool. Just like the breakdown of like population in counties.
Yeah.
And it's just, I would love to see a 3D map of that. Literally take the shape of the county. Here, let me come. Take the shape of the county, and then like you have the map, and it just extends off of it.
Sure. Just
to show a lot of people how many freaking people that is, because it's ridiculous. I was in LA within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
It's not that cool.
Right.
Now, when I was there, I didn't really think like, oh wow, this is a lot of people. But it was a lot of city, I can tell you that. And
Yeah.
I did not see a lot of it.
Yeah.
We did try and see the Hollywood sign and couldn't because of the smog.
Really?
Yeah, we like drove down near it. We would have been, if we looked at the right time, we should have been able to see it.
Yeah.
And it was just hazy. Plus, it was sundown by the time we got
Well, it's
there.
like when we went to Vegas a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. God, it's been weeks since then.
Has it? Well, I mean, it was
the week before last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That weekend.
Jeez.
So, yeah, when we went there, I mean, there's quite a bit of people there, too. But, like, and everybody says, Vegas is this and that. Vegas was cool. Vegas looked cool. But, dude, you know what the first thing I did when I got to Vegas? We went to a Walgreens. And you know what that Walgreens looked like? The exact same Walgreens on 58.
Yeah.
Like, I knew exactly where to go in that Walgreens.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about corporate places.
Yeah, and
You
like
can go anywhere across the United States, even across the world, like McDonald's.
yeah,
You go to a McDonald's, at least there's going to be the Big Mac.
yeah,
There's probably going to be like the weird, like strange stuff that each
sure,
country has. Like
sure.
I'm pretty sure in China, McDonald's sells fried chicken, like actual fried chicken.
I think you're right. And somewhere, I think it's also China, they sell the McPizza.
Yeah, something like that. That's awesome.
I would die for a McPizza.
That sounds great.
Yes, it sounds incredible.
Anyway,
so real quick, what's funny? I was going through. I was trying to sign in my Verizon account because I got to do some Verizon stuff this weekend. I was talking about before we started. But when I signed in, I guess the question that I picked, I haven't signed in, dude, in years.
Yeah.
But the question I put in there, one of them was my favorite restaurant in college. And I was like, oh, no, that one, McDonald's. And that was the answer to get in. I was like,
McDonald's.
It's always going to be
easy.
the answer, man. I have ate McDonald's more than I've ate anything in my entire life.
Here recently, just because it's so convenient, I've been doing good.
Yeah.
I haven't gained a lot of weight. I'm just evening myself out a little bit, and then it's like lost a little bit of weight. I'm gonna even out, make sure I'm stable, drop a little bit, make sure I'm stable, Because we've talked about this plenty, but like last time I lost a bunch of weight was when I was playing soccer.
Yeah.
And immediately after I stopped playing soccer, it just came all back.
Yeah.
Like it was ridiculous how much weight I gained.
Because you lost it due to exercise, like
exactly
being active.
It wasn't like a lifestyle change.
And you kept eating the same thing and just yeah.
But I've narrowed down my portions and just like figured out like, oh, I am full now. I just didn't need to eat that much.
Okay, we need to get back on my old stuff too.
Yeah.
The only thing is because I've been so busy with Marcus and being don't use that.
A businessman?
Yes, the businessman. Don't use the other phrase I used. But I'm so busy with him because I'll get killed. I'm so busy with him that like this is the first time in my life that I haven't had time for me. If that makes sense. And I'm not. Don't listen. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
Are you not working out every day?
No. I'm not complaining.
You are a broken man.
Yes, dude. Like there's like my psyche is starting to change.
I have noticed a change in you. Not in a bad way, not in a good way. It's just like you seem a little bit more like, I don't know. I don't mean this in a bad way, but you're like more blunt. You're like I asked you this earlier. Are you annoyed? You're like, no, I'm just bored.
Yeah. Like even I'm sure I am extremely short fuse right now.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm going to yell at you. I'm just going to. I have zero. When you work out, your endorphins get released.
Yep.
And when your endorphins get released, you are calm. You are relaxed. All the people call it therapy for a reason. It just clears everything up. And you got to think every day, or at least 5, 6 days a week, 5, 6 days a week since I was 12 years old, I've been banging around in the gym.
Yeah.
Right? In a gym, not at a home gym, not bands, in a gym. Not to impress anybody, but when people are in the gym, it makes you work out harder. There's something about going to a gym, other people being there, even if it's 4 o'clock in the morning and it's you and 2 old dudes. Like there's something to that because like these guys are watching me. I can't take as much time in between sets. I want to do this amount of weight, blah blah, whatever it is. And for the first time with Tia being in Nashville half the week, and me being here, and me having to. And listen, props to all you people that are raising a child by yourself. And props to Tia prior to meeting me.
Yeah.
And especially when he was a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, now he can like I can take a nap at the house and he's okay. Like he can do everything he needs to do, and if he needs anything, he knows how to wake me up. Like it's not like a big deal, right? I'm not neglecting him. I'm just if I get tired or something and accidentally fall asleep, it's not the end of the world. He's great. He plays with himself in the floor with his wrestlers and watches TV, and he knows how to. Dude, the kid has learned so much stuff off YouTube. It has blown my mind. Blown my mind what you can learn on YouTube. School is pointless. But anyways, it's just like every morning I've got to have him at school by 8. So, I get him up at about 7, and we're out the door every day at 7:45. And we're pulling into Harrison at 7:55. That's just our typical routine. But for me, man, like when I get home after work, I have to pick him up from school too at 3 o'clock. So I have to leave work at 2:40 every day to get him at 3 because I don't have anybody else that can do it. I mean, I could ask my parents, but I don't want to put that on them. You don't want to do that. And I'm sure they'd help me out some. Like they're watching him right now. But so every day now, like my work day is kind of thrown off. Like I get to work at 8:30 and I leave at 2:40. So I've got a weird work day. And when I get him, I work in Saudi. So it's not like I can go back to work and get there in a convenient time. By the time I was to get there, it's 4:30 and we're just driving right back. And gas is $4.10 and I drive a Raptor. So put the math on that. But it's for the first time that I haven't had like just me time, which it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because for my whole life, all I've done is work out. do what I want to do when I wanted to do it. Extremely selfish about a lot of things that I did. Was always, me for the most part, because I wasn't a single child, but I was raised by myself because my sister's 16, 17 years older than me. And my parents were always there for me, so, I had whatever I wanted. Not spoiled, but definitely, not going without.
Yeah.
And it's just always been about me. So even when I met Tia, when she was working here and had Marcus, and she still had him, and, she wasn't really working out either, and we were all working out when we met each other. But she, without me knowing it, she sacrificed her working out for me being able to go hit the gym after work or before work or whatever. But you feel bad. You feel bad when you get off work and they're both home and you go to the gym. Like, you're taking away time from them. Like, that's selfish. But then again, I like being able to wake up and go work out because then I have the rest of the day, and that's why they're asleep. But I can't do that now because Marcus is at home by himself, and I don't want to wake him up too early just to work out. It's like there's a weird predicament for me. So I found myself, for the first time in my life, not working out more than I work out. But here's the thing, Ethan. I've built so much. I'm not a bodybuilder, so don't take this the wrong way to people listening. But I've built so much mass and so much muscle over the years, decades. There was a thing I saw on Twitter the other day, and it was, if you're under 35 years old and you have 15 years of lifting experience, you're an elite level lifter. And dude, I'm 32, or I'm 31, and I've been lifting since I was 12. So I'm coming up on 20 years of lifting. So I've put some work in when it comes to working out, and I've put my body through it. But now I'm able to do about once or twice a week, hit something. And honestly, like, it's not like I look in the mirror and I see a completely different person. Or it's not like I go to wrestling and I'm completely out of shape. Like, everything's still there. It's just the size is not completely there. But I still look fine. So I think that's just me validating my laziness. But I've got to figure out a way to get my life back, because Tony Robbins just came out with a new book, Ethan, and it's called Life Force. Have you heard any of this?
No.
Okay, so he came out with a new book called Life Force. And he pretty much grabbed everybody in the area of biohacking and, reversing your age and longevity and stuff like that, and put together a book. Well, there's this supplement that has came out, and it's either NMN or MNM. I'm not sure. It's one of those two.
Are they just M&Ms?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it's a drug that they started working with mice, because that's the first. They usually work on mice before they give it to humans, because for some reason it's like our biochemistry kind of translate. But
is it a NAD plus activator?
Yes.
Okay. Already found it.
So that drug, in a synthetic form, in a purity level that is actually the drug, not some cheap ripoff, but actually the drug. It's pretty expensive. They say that drug, if you start taking it now, will almost certainly provide 10 to 20 years of life expectancy.
Wow.
Not because you're going to live longer, but because your biological clock is going to reverse.
So what I'm assuming it does is probably helps the DNA when it replicates in your cells to stop deforming.
Slows down.
Because what people don't realize about aging is that it's not just your body getting older. It's the cells that have been replicated millions and billions and maybe even hundreds of billions of times in your body that happens every day.
Yeah.
At some point through all of that change, that's why we have cancer. That's why we have a lot of different things.
Yeah.
When that DNA has to be, let's go back to high school AP human anatomy. When the cells replicate, they literally tear apart your DNA and then put one half in one cell, one half in the other cell, and it just has to know that they have to make the other side when they zip it back up. So that happening millions and billions of times, I mean, it's all just chemicals. It's just little atoms in your body that are having to be torn apart, put back together. At some point, those things break down, and that's why cells die. Again, that's also why we get cancer, because mutations in the way that the cells divide and blah, 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 blah.
No, you're right.
So if it can stop that, if it strengthens whatever connections,
slows it down,
and slows down aging, that's entirely possible in my head.
So there's this new thing where you can get your biological age tested.
Yeah.
And I want this done.
I do not.
Okay, no, you do. I want this done. So Tony Robbins, I believe, is 62 years old. Check that for me. But I believe he's
Tony
62.
Robbins?
Yeah, I believe he's 62. His biological age is 51.
Tony Robbins is 62 years old.
Okay, so Tony Robbins is 62. His biological age is 51. Now, let's say Tony gets to 70. In theory, his biological age should be 59, roughly. At that point, if he keeps doing this, it could be 55, so if that makes any sense. Like, it's just going to slow down the whole process. Pretty much what he's saying is potentially be ready for 80 to be the new 45, 50, and for 100 to be the new 60. Like that's possible in our lifetime with medicine. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, unless your skin stops aging as much, I don't know if I just want to be looking like Tales from the Crypt at 100. Now, if your skin stops aging, that's one thing. Now, another thing too, like every time your body is having to digest something, you're speeding up death. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So that's why fasting is a thing when it comes to longevity and anti-aging, because when you're fasting, you're not having to digest as much stuff, which means that part of your body is not having to work as much, which means you're going to expand your life a little bit. You're going to recycle some of those cells a little bit easier, get some of those damaged cells. What did we call this 2 years ago? Autophagy. Okay, so I was onto something then. But yeah, that's just one of the things that he was talking about on the podcast. He was on Impulsive, and he was talking about that. So I don't know. It was very interesting. I go into my little phases. So I'm ready to get into another health phase. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. It's not hard, guys. It's not difficult. I'm just being lazy right now, to be honest with you. I can get away with it. I have pretty good genetics. I've put in a lot of investment up until this point to where I can get away with eating some fast food and not working out for a little while and still looking halfway good. But I can't keep this up for a year. All right? I've done it for a couple months now. I've got to get away from it. I've got to get back under the bar, because there's no way to substitute being under the bar. That's how you get better. It hurts. It's going to break you down. But at the end of the day, you can't beat being under the bar. What else, man? How many minutes we into this?
58.
58?
Doing pretty good.
Well, we can bring it on a little bit more. Last week we did the Chat with Gunner 100.
Yeah.
Which means we were trying to get canceled.
It didn't happen.
And we didn't happen, so unfortunately we're here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was trying to free up my workout time. But we didn't really get to touch on the Batman.
We did a little bit beforehand. I think that scratched the itch, because we got to talk to Chris about it.
Yeah.
And Chris is the same as us. He's pretty up to date with movies in general, but he's also a pretty big Batman fan. So, yeah. I think the main thing we should touch on, just to get it out the way. Gunner, did Robert Pattinson play the Batman well or not?
Okay. That's a trick question.
It is a trick question, because you said that he wouldn't be a good Batman. that's a very low bar to break.
Yeah.
So
I definitely set him up for success on
You
this
did.
show. Okay.
it's like you almost like Robert Pattinson as Batman or something.
No. Okay. Here's where I'm at. When the news broke 2 years ago that Robert Pattinson was going to play the Batman.
Yep.
I got upset not at the fact that Robert Pattinson was playing Batman, at the fact that Robert Pattinson didn't want to work out to play Batman.
Yes.
Listen, anybody can be casted as Batman or any superhero. Just put the work in. Like, if you cast me to be Batman,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to miss a few baseball practices and you're going to be late to school some. Because, and you know what? I'm probably not even going to do logistics. Like, I am.
It's just going to be, you're going to go to Asia and you're going to become a ninja.
Dude,
you're going to train.
It's not that difficult.
No.
If you have 18 months to prepare for a role.
Yeah.
Bro, anybody. And listen to me. Anybody. Almost anybody in any physical condition can get into
months.
good shape.
Yes.
Movie shape in 18 months.
Now, I will say this. When you say in good shape, do you just mean like a regular person, or do you mean Marvel workout? Like the Hugh Jackman dehydrated for 3 days just for a single scene kind of thing?
Sure. Let's look at that. If you guys think Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine was jacked, he wasn't. He was just lean. He was just muscular. He was dried out. He was
dried out, and
you could visibly see his muscles.
Yeah.
Which means on camera, people
also
think this
lighting,
is stupid.
let's be honest.
And lighting.
Especially for Hugh Jackman, because everyone always points out like the scene where he comes out of the water as Wolverine. That is very, very good lighting for a scene like that.
Sure. And also, the camera is going to add 10 to 15 to 20 pounds of like mass.
Depending on how they shoot it, it's going to make you look wider.
Yes. So you just need to be lean, and you can get away with it. That's why almost guys like John Cena and guys like The Rock look too big in camera because they're massive human beings. Even Batista. Like, they look fake, but they're not. They're
Batista, I think, is a good example of like somebody doing a character justice, but he probably didn't like overwork himself. He's like a lot of those people.
Well, he's even said like, I don't even want to play it anymore because I just don't want to put the work in for it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He's like, I'm not going to play him if I can't look like him.
I can respect that.
You know, like I get that. I'm all for that. So my whole thing with him the entire time was not that he was Batman, not that he was Bruce Wayne. I always thought he was going to be a decent Bruce Wayne. Was the fact that he didn't want to work out because I thought it would come off cheesy. All right. So we get to the movie.
Okay.
We get to the movie and. I've seen the trailers, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They might have made him look decent.
Yeah.
Because in that Batman suit.
In the Batman suit, he looks great.
He looks like Batman in the Batman suit.
Yeah.
He has a Batman voice.
It's not as bad as Batman Begins Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Which I would argue, even though it's a decent movie, it's not the best of the trilogy. It's the worst of the trilogy.
Yes.
But Christian Bale's just like, it's just like, cut it back. And he does. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, I think he was a fine Batman, right?
Okay.
Whatever. I mean, it's you're wearing a mask, you're kicking some butt.
Yeah.
You probably got a stunt double doing half the stuff you're doing. Whatever. You're Batman.
Yeah.
I was extremely disappointed with him as Bruce Wayne.
I was too, but I would argue it was probably not his choice. I can tell. I have assumptions as to why.
Not even the character of Bruce Wayne.
Are you sure?
The look.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Not even the emo look. The size.
I didn't like the emo look.
Okay, the emo looks whatever. They're trying to go for a dark goth. Whatever. I don't even care.
He is supposed to be like again. This is
Year two.
I was so happy when. Okay, I got to just take my victory lap. I am so freaking happy when they confirmed that this was only year 2 Batman, and I didn't say anything in the theater. I was in a packed out theater, by the way.
Yeah.
I had somebody right next to me, total stranger. We shared popcorn. It was awesome. It was like COVID never happened.
That's awesome.
But I literally like, I remember like moving my hand like this over my mouth. I was like, I was fucking right.
You were right. You were right.
I'm getting good at this shit, guys. I'm getting too good.
Yeah. So Batman Year 2.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's
I get
20. I would say give him like a college time frame of becoming trained to become Batman.
Yeah.
So I would say he's probably my age, 24, 25, supposed to be.
Which is why I think he wasn't that good of a detective, and he kind of messed up, and he had some flaws.
Here's the thing. If they do a trilogy, and they're gonna, because it's Batman, and it makes money, he gets better over time. You see him at his lowest point now in this movie, he only gets better from here.
Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I need him to do some Rocky shit.
I would love it.
Like, I need... Okay. In this movie, there's a scene where...
So we will... Because we're just doing it now, we'll cut for... not cut, but we'll have a very distinct spoilers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a scene. He's got a shirt off as Bruce Wayne in one of the scenes.
Yes.
He's, like, pushing something, and he's got these little scrawny back muscles. And then there's a scene of him walking down the steps, putting his shirt on, and coming into, like, the sun's coming through the living room, and Alfred's at the table putting together some code or whatever. And he's talking. He's got the cool little part where he puts the sunglasses on. Yeah. That's cool. I get it. He's a bat.
It's one of those things where those are definitely the details that I loved. And I'm very happy you saw like noticed it too.
Sure.
Just because I hate when I notice something like that, and it's just like, are people that are like looking at this artistically like I am?
Yeah.
The only people that see that? I'm happy it's blatant enough that no.
Yeah, I mean, like, the sun's coming in. He's kind of squinting. I thought it was almost like a homage to, like, Twilight and making sure that Batman was nocturnal. Like, he's always at night and stuff. I thought that was cool. So that happens. But he's wearing a shirt, okay? And it's this is such a small detail, but I think it makes sense. He's wearing a shirt, and it's like a gray shirt.
Yeah.
And it's baggy.
Uh-huh.
And when a super tiny, small little girl boy wears a baggy shirt, you look like a preteen.
Yeah.
Like you look like a child.
You look like you don't fit in the clothes you picked
and
out for
his
yourself.
forearms were smaller than Alfred's.
Yeah.
In the scene.
Here's the thing. Okay, this is how my brain works. So follow me here. Maybe this is going to sound stupid. I just know it is. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe he's so focused on being Batman. We only, like, Alfred in this movie, I didn't like Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say it out loud. I do like Andy Serkis. I like what Andy Serkis was able to do, but I think a lot of the stuff that I don't like is not Andy Serkis' fault. Mm-hmm. Just like a lot of the Batman choices that I don't like, probably not Robert Pattinson's fault, other than not working out.
100%.
But I would like to think, and maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, maybe him being scrawny and him not fitting in that shirt specifically, maybe he did at one point when he was first Batman, but he's like letting himself go, not gaining weight, but he's losing a lot of weight because he's not eating. He's obsessed. Because in this movie, Christian Bale's Batman was obsessed with doing the Batman thing. Mm-hmm. But in this one, it felt like he was way more obsessed about it. It was his, like, only life mission.
Yeah.
And even Christian Bale, like, his Bruce Wayne came out and would go to parties and would shake babies and kiss heads, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. But this one, he was annoyed that he even had to talk to his accountant. And he was just like, Alfred, go do it. Why do I have to do it? Obviously, angsty teen, whatever.
Right.
But maybe he did fit in that shirt at one point. Alfred bought it for him. Because let's be honest here, he's loaded. He would have fitted shirts. Maybe that fit at one time. And he let himself go. He's literally dying in his suit. And maybe in the second movie, he bulks up a little bit.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. They can, listen, I'm still not writing Pattinson off because I enjoyed the movie. One reason is because Batman is my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for me not to enjoy a Batman movie. Like, even the cartoons. Like,
Well, Batman the Animated Series
it's really good.
Is a work of art.
And I, like, even the worst Batman movie, I enjoy. Okay?
Batman and Robin.
What about Forever?
Batman Forever?
Which one's that one?
Is that the one with Catwoman? That can't be.
No, that's Batman Returns.
Yeah. Okay. Let me look up Batman Forever.
I think Batman Forever is
that's George Clooney's first one. Is it George Clooney? No, Val Kilmer. I'm sorry. That was the Riddler. With Jim Carrey.
So that's got Poison Ivy and Bane.
No, that's Batman and Robin. The one
Okay.
I'm thinking of, or the one you're talking about, is Two-Face. And
Two-Face and the
I'm
Riddler.
guessing Batgirl? I don't remember.
Well, it's like
I do not remember those movies well.
Well, anyways, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, Tomato.
Two are the worst
Two of the bad ones. There's better YouTube short film Batman movies than those. Actually,
100%
not
agree.
actually some decent Batman short films on YouTube.
Hey, Gunner, I've got a short film idea. You want to hear it?
Am I Batman?
You could be.
Can we do bearded Batman? Because I haven't done that
I
yet.
was about to say you can't wear the beard.
No, no. Wait a minute. Check the comics, bro.
I'll try and find an old man. It's like an old man Logan kind of deal.
Well, they have.
maybe.
I think they did one for Superman and Batman, where Batman. Like,
Well, that would have been Dark Knight Returns.
okay. Is
Yeah.
that when he's got the beard?
I think so. Let's see.
So anyway, so yeah, so those movies, I even enjoy those. Like, I could watch those the entirety of the movie and then have fun watching it, and I've done it with Marcus tonight if we needed to. In Rocky 1, the first Rocky, Sylvester Stallone was soft. He was broke. He, was just trying to make his way, training, and he wasn't. He just looked like a normal dude. In Rocky 2, he got in a little bit better shape. Not in great shape, a little bit better shape. In Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, Homeboy's in the best shape of his cinematography career. All right. If they can pull something like that off, to where they sign Pattinson to do 2 more movies, and he pretty much knows that's all he's doing for the next couple of years because he's gonna make so much money doing it, and he just gets to play Batman. If they could, Pattinson just needs to put on, and dude, it's Hollywood. Like, steroids are legal, the best personal trainers are legal, the best nutritionists are legal. Just do it. You got all the money in the world. Just do it, bro. Like, if he put on 20 pounds.
Okay, hold on. I would argue if he wants to keep the allure, the like, I'm that, like, I don't want to work out because I don't want to give bad body standards. I get it. That's where your head is, whatever. Maybe in the second movie, he just tries to do all natural. Like, legit all natural, not like how people say they're all natural. And then the third movie, maybe it's a Superman movie. He meets Superman. But third movie, he's just like whatever it takes to look like Batman.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I just don't see a good jump between this one and then the next one. He's just
no. So I'm saying no, but 10 or 15 pounds is not a big deal.
no. Yeah.
But then you put on another 10 to 15 pounds in the next one.
Injected straight into your veins.
Or, dude, I don't even need you to. Or maybe in the next one he's bulkier, and then the third one he's ripped. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
I need some type of body transformation from Pattinson in these next movies. Not because of the Batman character. Strictly due to the Bruce Wayne character. Because I can't have you being the same width as Catwoman. And that's true. If you look at Zoe Kravitz, because she works out, you look at her,
Yeah.
you look at him, they're the same size.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what their heights are.
Yeah, he is taller, but yeah.
They're the same size.
Robert Pattinson is a very tall, lanky dude, to be fair.
Yeah, so he's got the frame.
Yeah.
And even in Twilight.
He's not. Yeah. Thinking of the scene where you first see him sparkle, like, yeah, no, he doesn't look bad.
Yeah. It's just like him.
It was also 10 years ago, though.
Yeah, but like him and Taylor Lautner, they just fell off the
Taylor
deep end.
Lautner let himself go a lot, but damn. Twilight, what, 2? Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But so yeah, that's my complaint on Batman.
Okay.
Just listen, I get the body image thing,
Yeah.
but if there was a body image problem, give it to him in the comic book. Don't give it to me in real life. Like if you're going to do a comic book movie, I need you to look like a comic book character.
Yeah.
A la Dwayne. The Rock trained harder than he's ever trained just to play a comic book character.
Yeah. And let's be honest here. Either of us, if we were told, like, we want to give you this role, but you have to look this way, both of us would literally drop everything and do that. I don't know who I'd play, but...
Well, what do you call that? Is that method acting?
It's not method acting. It's just preparing for a role.
But
method acting would literally be like what I joked about, you literally going to Asia and training to become a ninja.
Okay, but why not do that?
Because you don't necessarily have that much time.
18 months?
18 months to go learn how to be a ninja when
You
in
could
the
learn
comic books?
You could learn how to combat.
You
in
could,
18.
yeah. Yes.
You'd be much better in month 18
you could do
than you would
half
be in
your own
month 1.
stunts. Yeah, you could do your fight scenes.
Well, it's like Kill Bill and
Yeah.
all those, like Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
She went and learned how to fight.
To be fair, she also was in the Israeli army.
Well, I don't whatever.
Gal Gadot is a fucking badass.
Well,
So that's just the thing. Anyway.
She's bigger than Battinson.
She is.
That's a fact.
Okay,
all the way around.
So quickly, because we are a little over than I think. I don't know how long you wanted to go,
yeah,
but
I mean, we're talking about
we're talking about two things. You
which
really like.
who's me to say anything? I'm over here not working out, talking about some guy working out. So I don't what. But
Yeah, Gunner, take off your shirt.
but
Do you look like Bruce Wayne?
I'm much more than Robert Pattinson. I promise you that much.
So, two things before we get into the spoilers. I did look it up. Bruce Wayne does have a beard in one of the very, very... I've heard a few good things. I don't know if it's like a great Batman story, but it's The Legends of the Dark Knight or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's an anthology series of comic books. It's like where like an artist and a writer would get together, they'll work on a book, another artist and another writer will come in and work on a book,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just packaged all together.
Gotcha.
But this one is called Batman: Venom. Not like Venom from Marvel.
Yeah, just
Venom as in the Venom serum, like what Bane takes. I think in this one, from what I was able to look at, what I've heard before, Batman loses, like, trying to save some kids or something, and he just goes into Batman depressive mode, and so he learns about these. I think it's like either it's a military drug or something like that. Obviously, he has his connections. He's Bruce Wayne, and so he starts taking it. They find out, and they start to try and blackmail Bruce Wayne because they're like, Batman's punching a lot harder than he used to be able to. We saw pictures of Batman literally punch through a wall. We've never seen him do that before, and we just now came out with this drug. Who's the guy that's bought 16 cases of this drug? Bruce Wayne. Huh. I wonder if Bruce Wayne is Batman. Let's blackmail him. Dumb idea in the first place. But so he goes to try and detox. He locks himself into the Batcave for like a month to detox off of this strength enhancing drug. And I think if I remember correctly, I've seen the panels. Like Alfred opens the Batcave and he goes down. He's walking down. He's bringing the lunch, and it's supposed to be the last days in the detox. And it's just Bruce Wayne like slumped in a chair with a massive beard. It's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's a good shot.
So speaking of and spoilers, in the movie.
Okay, spoilers officially starting now.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. We got to talk about it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Don't worry, it's coming out on HBO Max or soon, anyways. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's just talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Batman coming out so close to their release dates. I mean, Spider-Man was what, December?
Yeah.
But still, that turnaround time for putting it on streaming, I love it.
Yeah.
As soon as it's out of theaters, just put it on streaming. Does not take that long.
Now, I'm not a big fan of them putting it straight on streaming for Batman already, since it's still in the theaters, because that kind of sucks for some people. But I mean, it's also cool, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Just let it get out of theaters. Let theaters make their money, and then pop.
Well, because
That's
they don't
all.
make money after the first month or first whatever.
And usually movies will stay maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the peak time.
Sure.
So
Okay. So there's a scene in the movie where Batman's on the ground. He like can't get up, and he's trying to get up to fight this guy, and he hits himself with some green juice, right?
Yep.
And he comes up and he's losing his mind.
He is pissed.
He's vengeance. All right.
He's vengeance.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people are saying on the interwebs that might be the Bane juice.
Literally, there is no other thing it could be. You don't put. That was a very specific green, and they had to pick that. It's just like the shirt that I was talking about earlier. That is a detail you don't just pick. That is a detail that you at least put some thought into. And with that serum that he injects himself with, albeit it's in, Act 4 technically?
Yeah.
Because this movie is 3 hours long. It's in
Yeah.
the last 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah. Up on
He
the catwalk.
injects himself, and he rages out. There is no other thing that those two things come into connection with other than the Venom serum.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because for the end of the movie, we see Joker. So he's already dealt with Joker, and Joker is in Arkham.
Yeah.
Has he dealt with Bane? And if not, great. I would love to see, and I love Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's in Peaky Blinders. He's pretty great. He's like an Irish.
He's in Peaky Blinders?
Yes.
No, he's not.
He's a Jewish baker.
Is he a main character?
For the second season, he's not a part of the group. He's a part of a group that they're helping.
But he's in.
He's in it for majority of the second season.
I
didn't
know this. Okay.
Yeah, I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I do too.
But my thing about Tom Hardy's Bane was he's ripped, but he's not Bane ripped. Bane ripped is literally Hulk to me. But he's also smart as hell, like Tom Hardy's Bane.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can get both of those on screen at the same time, because, again, Batman and Robin, we got Bane, but he was big dumb guy because Poison Ivy was the main villain of that,
right?
Along with Mr. Freeze.
Yep.
That reminds me, what'd you think of the Penguin? Because I liked it, because he wasn't necessarily the Penguin yet.
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, I mean,
he was he was named Oz, but his Oswald Cobblepot.
Here's one. I don't know much about the Penguin from the comic. I just know the Penguin from Batman Returns.
Okay.
So knowing that in the Batman Returns, he gets dropped off by his parents into a sewer, and then he just becomes like a penguin. So I don't know what the penguin is.
So from what I have gathered, because I haven't, Penguin is not necessarily my favorite top 5 Batman villains. Of his normal crew, his what do they call Spider-Man's villains? His masquerade of bad guys or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
For Batman, it's always Joker's number 1 because that's obvious. Two-Face is usually up there. Poison Ivy is interesting, and then Bane and Riddler. Penguin is usually the guy that he fights first to show that, he's on his game, but then the next villain is on top, and they're controlling whatever's happening, right?
Okay.
And so, yeah, I liked Penguin in this, and I don't really know his backstory as far as, like, in the comic books. I know a few things. If I'm not, don't crucify me, but I played the Arkham games, which, by the way, have you played any of the Batman Arkham games?
So,
because you have a PlayStation, and I know you play GTA once in a while and Madden and stuff.
Yeah. No, I've definitely played some of the open world Batman games. The fight scenes and how you beat people up and stuff just kind of turned me off on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that fight combat. So that's just me. But those games are really good.
They are good. They're good games.
If you want to play a Batman game, that trilogy is very, very good.
Yep.
Anyway, as far as what I know about Cobblepot, though, him and Alfred's family are like connected somehow. Like one of them got rich, and one of them didn't. And like Alfred is obviously with the Waynes, so Cobblepot has something against the Waynes too. And like again, he's not my favorite Batman villain, so I don't know that much about him.
Sure.
However, at least in this, he got a good story. It was very interesting to see Batman work with him, because I thought at the beginning he was the Penguin already,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't. He was just Oz, is what they called him, because his name is Oswald. And who plays him? Colin Firth?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell? What the hell?
Yeah.
Talk about a body transformation.
Yeah. Looks nothing like him.
Yeah. And then, no. This movie was really, really good as far as the villains. Riddler,
You mean the Zodiac Killer?
yeah. They made the Riddler modern, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Taking from the Zodiac Killer just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, the Zodiac Killer was kind of just some crazy guy that left messages and shit.
And if you, so I did the Easter egg stuff on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
If you go through it,
I did.
you did.
Yeah.
He literally took like the same cards.
The ciphers.
Yeah.
Yes.
That the Zodiac
Well,
Killer did.
yeah. The cards that he leaves for Batman are very, very similar
Yeah.
to the cards that the Zodiac Killer left.
Right.
Again, good details. I love it. What was I gonna say? Oh, another thing that I got right. It wasn't the storyline from Hush. I didn't get that right. But they did reference it
Yeah.
with somewhere, I don't even remember where it was in the movie. There's just the big word Hush on there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I got it right. But that also set me up for something that I was a little upset about, because I got it wrong. So, in the Hush storyline, we've talked about this before. The main character, or the main villain, is named Hush, and he's one of Bruce Wayne's childhood friends. His family's also his dad's also a doctor. The Waynes are great friends with them. I don't think there's even any bad blood or anything like that. But the Waynes end up living, or the Waynes end up becoming rich as F. And this other family, his parents also die very similarly, but nothing happens to him because they weren't rich.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, it's a very much a Bruce Wayne against himself if anything had changed kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I thought they were setting up this movie to mean that Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas Wayne, had a child out of wedlock, and that child was a Riddler. That was just the route that I could see it going, because of the orphanage and him being so connected with him, and all of this stuff. I was like, did they have another kid that they just gave up or something?
Yeah.
Or did Thomas have another kid that Martha didn't know about? Something I didn't know. Martha is an Arkham. I didn't know that in the comics. I ended up looking up, and yeah, she is.
Well, she came out of Arkham.
But her family is
Right. Oh,
the
yeah.
Arkham family.
Yeah. So the Arkhams and the Waynes. I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah, evidently it was. Which is pretty. That makes sense. Like the families of Gotham.
Yeah.
The old money.
Yep.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I was so hyped because I thought that's what the route they were going, and that leans more into Hush, being somebody so connected with Bruce Wayne, being the one that is taking everything down.
Yeah.
Favorite scene? Let's go with that, because I have the one in my head. What's your favorite scene?
Go ahead and tell me yours.
Okay, fine. My favorite scene is, so they go to an orphanage because the Riddler was in the orphanage. That was the first spot where Thomas Wayne talks about this renovation of Gotham. What is it called? The shoot, it's not recycle. It's something else.
I don't know.
It's like it's a very politician's word of like, we're gonna make Gotham good again. We're gonna make it. We're gonna renovate the whole place.
Right.
But he starts this program, and that program, right after Thomas Wayne dies, is how all of the crime bosses and everything, they're so connected to the mayor's office and everyone that's handling the money.
Mm-hmm.
They just take it as a slush fund. They just take all the money, and none of the things that Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne wanted to do with the money actually happens.
Right.
And everyone blames Thomas Wayne. So he's at this at this orphanage, and it's showing the video of Thomas Wayne announcing it, and the Riddler is coming out, talking over the video, and he's saying, "I'm gonna end what he started. I'm gonna take mine." And he means that he's going to try and kill Bruce Wayne, because he's murdered 3 people at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
He definitely tries to kill Bruce Wayne in this one.
Right.
And so Batman, he's in the orphanage with Gordon, who isn't commissioner yet, which I liked.
Yeah, I did too.
And he realizes, oh shit, he's gonna try and kill me. I'm not there because I'm Batman.
Yeah.
That means Alfred could get hurt. He just jumps in the Batmobile. Best Batmobile freaking ever.
I was about to.
By the way,
that's probably mine.
Yeah. Literally that whole 30 to 40 minute stretch from that scene, the first time you see the Batmobile, and then where I'm getting to, best part of the movie. That's what I just need to go see in 4X.
So I enjoyed the Darth Vader-ish debut of Batman at the very beginning. So I know somebody said this.
Oh, not that one. I thought you meant the second one.
Mm-mm.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so I guess I see what you're saying though in that one too. But the beginning, how they presented the Batman.
The 3 shots of the different crimes that are happening in Gotham.
And then when everybody looks up and sees the rugged bat signal, it's not even a real bat signal yet. It's just a piece
broken.
of metal
shoved
into a light.
Yeah.
Into a building that's still getting construction done to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it didn't get finished because of the slush fund.
Yeah.
That's again details I love.
Yep.
Anyway.
So that, and then every shadow you see, everybody's scared to go into the shadow because you don't know if he's there or not.
Yeah.
And then finally he shows up. So I thought that was a good scene. And then the debut scene of the Batmobile, not in the Batcave where he's working on it.
Yeah.
But where he cranks it. And it's so if you know anything about muscle cars, there's a cold start to muscle cars. So when you're cranking a muscle car, it's gonna be like and then he finally cranked. It finally went off, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's such an awesome."
It's
Batmobile.
got literally a miniature jet engine on the back.
Yeah, I mean it's literally it's like a
so
1970 Chevelle or Challenger, or Charger or something.
Gunner, when you make $1 billion,
yes,
can you buy me one,
dude?
Buy us both ones.
That thing was sweet. That thing was really cool. So yeah, that's what I really enjoyed. I mean, dude. Listen, at the end of the day, it's a good movie. If you go to the ratings, it's a good movie. If you look at the reviews, it's a good movie. You can nitpick any movie and make it bad.
There is plenty of things not to like about this movie.
Any movie.
I think this movie has more problems in far as the details, but as a story, as a watchable movie, it's great, except it's 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, if you compare it to Batman Begins, it's better.
Uh-huh. I would argue I would love, so this is going to sound weird because nobody ever says this. I would love on a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack, right? I would like an extended version because those are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'll watch any extended cut.
Yeah.
Do not mind. I would love to see an extended cut to see what they cut out because they definitely cut some stuff out.
Yeah.
But I would also like to see a watchable version of this movie in one night. It's a 3-hour movie, and one of the greatest criticisms I've seen this movie is The Batman is a great 2-hour movie. Too bad it's 3.
Yeah. Okay.
I would love to see the fat trimmed.
There's a lot of fluff.
There's a lot of fluff. It's good when you're in it, but if I'm trying to plan out a night to watch a movie, I can't set aside 3 hours.
Yeah, so me and Marcus went. It was a Tuesday, and it was at 3:50 in the afternoon. So I picked him up at school at 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
We raced over there. Literally got there one preview before the trailer started.
Nice.
Perfect time.
Classic.
We get there, dude. We get out of the movie at 7, and it's dark. So yeah, it's a long movie.
Yeah, no. I loved it. Another great scene, just because I want to talk about it because it's so great, is he's going to get Falcone. Falcone is the family that's already been got, right?
Yep.
And then, no, is it? Shit. Okay, Falcone is the one that he's going for right now. The other like big crime family in Gotham has been put away.
Yes.
Because it was like a sting operation. That was all corrupt and shit. But he's going to get Falcone because Catwoman wants to kill Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anything from the comic books, Falcone has sex with one of his workers. She pops out a baby. That's Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
So he's going down the hall to try and stop Selena Kyle from killing Falcone because Falcone has all this information that he needs. Blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of convoluted shit, but it's great. So he just gets to this club and he hits the elevator button and it cuts to all these guards going down the hallway and the lights are cut off, so it's a totally dark hallway and the elevator opens up. It's totally dark and he's got this one poor guy. He's got his flashlight in. He's like looking around, looking for him, and he like drops down. And for a solid one take of, I would say, probably 3 to 4 minutes, it is nothing but gunfire being shot in the air, muzzle flashes that are the only light you can see, and Batman just beating the shit out of all of them.
Yeah.
And it is probably my favorite 5 minutes of cinema in the past year.
Okay.
And that beats out Spider-Man.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
It is more cinematically thoughtful than anything that was in Spider-Man. Spider-Man's great. It's just not an artsy film.
Right.
And that's what I liked about this movie is even AMC like just came out and said, they have that tag on their app of like artisan films.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of like stuffy movies that are just Oscar bait.
Yeah.
But this movie had it, and it worked as a superhero movie, and it's kind of like the Joker. If you like the Joker, you'll like this.
Yes.
I can definitely say that.
Now here's where, and we need to wrap this up.
Yeah, we need to.
But here's where I can get a little frustrated.
Okay.
Why are the Jokers different again?
Okay. I've had this conversation already with somebody else. I was playing some video games, and some of my friends online had seen it, and they had the same exact question. I am going to argue that the Joker that we got in this movie is not the person that played him is not Joaquin Phoenix. That is confirmed by looking at the credits that play literally 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I stayed throughout the whole credits. By the way, worst end credit scene ever. Don't say for it.
Yes.
Just look it up.
Question.
You'll thank me later.
Question.
We'll be back or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it's not over or something like that. Anyway, I have this theory, and I was right 2 out of 3 things this one, okay?
Okay.
It's an homage to Hush. It was year 2 of Batman. I just didn't get right that what did I get right? Come on, Gunner.
I don't know.
Gotta call me out here.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm 2 for 3, I'd say. I'm feeling pretty good. So this is my knowledge of how movie making works. This isn't Joaquin Phoenix in this movie. Because Joaquin Phoenix, after the Joker, is expensive. And they're not going to waste, if they have a movie deal with him, if they do, I don't know. If they have a movie deal with him, say he's signed for 3 movies, maybe 4, who knows. If he were to appear in this one, that would count as a movie. We kind of touched on this last week. Oh, that's just a preview. Okay. We kind of touched on this last week when we were talking about the guy from Justice League.
Okay.
We were talking about how he is Cyborg. There's all that Joss Whedon bullshit that happened, and they cut him from the movie. Well, he's still signed for X amount of movies, so he's gonna get a decent payout if he's not in any more movies. So for Joaquin Phoenix, if he's not in any other movies, or if he's signed for movies and he appears in The Batman for literally less than
10
2
seconds,
minutes,
Yeah.
that counts. And they're not going to waste the money that they spent to get Joaquin Phoenix on that signing deal. So they decided, hey, we're going to give this random person this screen time and this laugh or whatever. Maybe people get upset. That's a risk we have to take to save our money.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when it's all said and done, in the second movie, we can pull off Joaquin Phoenix and Robert Pattinson in the same movie for these two artisan DC films that have broken records. At least the Joker did. And people were really happy with both of them. Then we get to put them together in the sequel. That's my thought process. And give me a second, because Gunner's camera actually died, I think.
Mine did?
Which is charging. I don't know why it died.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you.
All right, listen. Then let's just wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's the end of this show. So, episode 101. Sorry about that. I guess we need to keep up with our battery cameras now. That's the thing. So we'll keep that into consideration moving forward. But if you can hear my voice and you can see Ethan's face, that might throw you off a little bit. Ethan, move your mouth with my words. So what we'll do, if you like this video, like it on YouTube, hit the bell notification, subscribe, comment, watch it on Spotify, check it out on Buzzsprout, check it out on Facebook, check it out wherever you check it out. This will be posted on Rumble, and that's the link that you'll see. Please go over to Rumble and subscribe for us. Other than that, we appreciate you. Next week, we got a Australian guest in studio, Brandon Cleft. He's going to be coming in talking about his experience with the 8-bin marketing and his story from Australia back to Chattanooga. Other than that, we'll catch you guys on the other side. Thank you for all you do, and we'll see you